Ian Garry and Rampage have the oddest rivalry.
So weird.
First off, Rampage Jackson is a legend of the sport. We all love him. He kind of came at me a little bit a while ago. I don't know what it was about. I can't remember, but he kind of came at me. I didn't respond, Luis. If you look that up, you could probably show. You can probably pull up what he said about me. It was something.
What he said about you.
It was something I said, and he responded. Never really did it.
He's gonna smack the taste out your mouth.
He was gonna slap me. Why was he gonna slap me though? Like, what?
I don't know why he was gonna slap you.
I don't know what I said to get slapped. I talk for a living. A lot of times I say shit that piss people off. It is what it is. But now Rampage is in the media space. He runs the Jackson podcast with Luke Rockhold and some other guys. He's on Ariel Helwani's show the other day, and he's talking about Ian Garry. Ian Garry now has become the butt of the joke for a lot of people. So I'm sitting down with Ian Garry next week. I hope I don't catch any strays because I'm friends with you. Because you guys are so disrespectful towards Ian, which I believe that you're completely wrong for. Well,
fair enough.
Rampage was talking about him in a way where he called him, Daniel Cormier needs to watch what he says before I smack the taste out of his mouth. That's what he said.
But it doesn't say what you said to him.
Which is crazy because, like, come on, man. Like, you're going to slap
comments
me?
About Slam KO at UFC. I think he might have just been being funny.
Yeah, because I said that we'd never seen it before twice in one night. Yeah, he was just
being funny.
Yeah, but I had already seen Gerald Harris do it. He was being sensitive. Anyhow,
yeah,
he said that he was talking about Ariel, and he was like, I'm interviewing this kid. I don't know who he is. He's pretending to act like he didn't know who Ian Garry was, but you're having him on the podcast, and he called him Ian and then Ian decides he's not going on the podcast. You know what I say? Good on Ian Garry.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Himself and not allowing people to disrespect him.
Yeah.
You guys are too disrespectful to that man.
No, I mean, my thing was I would just go on podcasts and I went on Logan Paul's podcast and I verbally assaulted him. I made him look like a schmuck, I thought. I mean, my intellect's much higher than his. Yeah, he tried talking shit and I don't know.
Logan
you can go
Paul
watch
did?
it. Yeah, I think I came off very, very well on the podcast, but I mean, maybe this is my opinion. Yeah, so I don't know, I guess why would you go on the podcast? Because I think you're right. Because dude, if you're talking shit, you don't want me on the podcast. Why did you invite me here in the first place? I don't really need to come on. But you could always just come on and then counterattack the person, something like that.
But do you get I mean, is it wrong though? Let me ask you this: is it wrong for so many to have so many opinions of Ian Garry, his wife, their relationship, and all these things surrounding it? Because now, when it's getting to guys like Rampage, who are really removed from the sport. I don't know the last time Rampage fought, right? Isn't it a little bit much? And he is well within his right to do that.
I mean, you're saying he's well removed, but he's got a podcast with fighters, so you think he would want to stay kind of up to date on the information. He actually fought Fedor in 2019. I would not have guessed that.
He what? That was the last time Fedor, he fought, right?
In Bellator, and he lost to Chael in Bellator and King Mo, actually. Interesting. I forgot that.
But he wants to slap me. Think about that. In 2019, he was losing to those guys. I was still the heavyweight champion of the world.
He doesn't want to fight you. He just wants to slap you because you disrespected him by not recognizing he had one of the most epic slams of all time against Ricardo Arona. It was a really amazing slam.
Dude, he was a monster, bro. He actually looks like he's lost some weight too. He had gotten really big. He looks good now. Yeah. Rampage. Hey, Ian Garry though does put Jeff Neal's mugshot on his face, on his t-shirt. Hey, bro, did you know that when Ian Garry said that about Neil Magny, this is what they told me last week, and I was at dinner with someone. I'm not going to say their name. Actually, you know what? I am going to say their name. Fuck it. Ian Garry is fighting against Jeff Neal. I'm going to ask him about that this week when I speak to him. I was with a couple of Jeff Neal's teammates, Kyle Crutchmer, who is one of our guys on Zinc Entertainment, and Ramiz, I think his name is Ramiz Brahimai or something like that. Anyhow, they said that when Ian said that about Neil Magny and his children, In court, they used that against Neil Magny, bro.
I saw that. Yeah.
Did you know that?
I heard it. I didn't follow up to see it's true. That's the thing. You kind of bust my ass, Daniel. I live a busy life. You might live as busy a life as me. You have a lot of things going on. And so like, I scroll through things, and I see them, but I don't have the time to like dig in to get to the bottom of every single thing I read. So like if I'm going to come on here and talk to you about it, I'm going to try to at least get a couple quotes or kind of get an idea of it, but there's no way I can go all the way deep. And so, like with Ian Garry, I don't know, the Ian Garry, he did kind of look shitty in that situation. And so what I would have done if I was him is come out and clear the air and say, like, I told you I listened to whatever her name's book is, and I think it has to be parody. Like it's got to be a joke, but no one said, hey, dummies, this is a joke. Like you guys are dumb. How could you possibly think this is real? So he could have always came out and just cleared the air and said, here's this. Her ex-husband doesn't live with us. Here's why my last name is this. He could have kind of knocked all the dominoes down, but I don't know that he ever did that totally clearly.
But he doesn't, maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he doesn't care.
But then he shouldn't be mad about people talking about it. And I always said that to every wrestler I coach that kind of achieves that. It's like, if you don't want people to like be saying things about you and guessing, you just got to say what it is. So like, if you have an incident where people are going to wonder what happened, you just need to come out and say, this is what happened.
Yeah.
This is exactly, I don't want anyone to wonder. Here's what happened, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, yeah. But I think that I think that honestly is like responding to people online. It's almost like you validate them by discussing it. Sometimes you're just like,
but then don't care. But he does. You can tell he does care. So like if you're gonna care, then you need to set the record straight. And if you don't, like yes, a valid tactic is to not care, like you're saying. But he cares for sure. He cares.
Well, I mean, how could you not, bro, when people are talking about your significant other like that? It's like, that's not fun. That can't be fun to hear constantly, especially for a young guy, right? Because the dude's only like 25 years old. Yes. Not like he's 35, 40. He's like 25-year-old kid that's married to this gal that he loves with all of his heart. And, but again, bro, like if you're willing to play the game, then I think a lot of that comes back with you. Yes. Like I knew that when I would approach or attack, when Jones and I would be going back and forth.
Yeah.
If I said something about his wife or his brother, I knew that something would be coming back in my direction in that regard, right? Because once you open that can, you can't really open Pandora's box when it benefits you and then stuff it all back in there whenever somebody attacks you in that way. Yes. So especially if that came back to bite Neil Magny in that, like, in a real type of custody situation, that's not fair. And even that, right? When explaining those things, you would hope that if he ever does say, well, this isn't true, my bad to Neil Magny for doing what I did because I didn't know that it would affect him in the way that it affected him, I think that would go a long way. But I do believe that in this instance, it seems as though, bro, I'm telling you, Paddy Pimblett said it. Thank God for Ian Garry, because everybody kind of forgot about me whenever he was fighting on the last fight card. I was like, would you do anything different now? Because the fans seem to have turned on you. He goes, honestly, DC, thank God for Ian Garry, because everybody's so focused on him, they forgot about me and the mistakes that I've made leading up to this point, because it was all negative for Ian.
Yeah. No, that's very, very, very valid. Hey, total sidebar. Two things. I got two comments.
And one second. And I think this time Ian's doing the right thing.
Okay. I don't disagree.